I 42F got married 24 years ago. I decided that if I had a daughter, I would pass the dress and accessories on to her. I chose a simple, elegant dress, rather than what was fashionable at the time, because I wanted something timeless that people could wear for generations to come. I had my son Mark, now 22 a year after, and his father passed away when he was young. I raised Mark as a single mom for several years. I decided that when Mark married, I would give my dress and accessories to his wife. When I was 33, I met Rob, now 52. I fell in love with him and we quickly married. He became a great father figure for Mark, and I was so excited to have a stepdaughter, Molly, now 24F. My relationship with Molly had a rocky beginning. I've been patient and gentle with her. I've offered to take her shopping or get her nails done. I asked Rob about her favorite foods and made sure to cook those. She made it clear that she didn't see me as her real mom. Years passed, and I never changed the way I treated Molly. My door was always open for her, but she never changed the way she thought about me. She called me a trophy wife to my face. If I ever threw a charity event, she would remark, "Wow, you're so generous with Dad's money." While she didn't say anything explicitly, I could tell she looked down on me for not having a college degree. A couple years ago, I made a final offering to Molly. I brought her into my closet and showed her the dress and accessories and told her I would love for her to wear them at her wedding. Some alterations would have to be done. I am 5 feet 9 inches and a size 4, while Molly is 5 feet 4 inches and a size 8. But we could make it work. Molly scoffed and said I had archaic values and that the dress was trashy, and walked out. That really hurt because she knew what that dress meant to me and she didn't care. After that, I stopped making as much of an effort to build a relationship with her. 2 months ago, Mark proposed to his college sweetheart, Lucy, with whom I have a great relationship. When Lucy mentioned dress shopping, I showed her my dress. Lucy tried it on and it fit like a glove. She fell in love with it, and I told her the dress, shoes, and accessories were hers. She was so happy she literally cried. However, a couple days ago, Molly reached out to me out of the blue to ask if the dress was still available. I told her I had given it to Lucy. She asked if I could get it back from Lucy, since I offered it to her first, and I told her 1. She said she didn't want it 2. It fits Lucy perfectly, and 3. Lucy is the only one getting married within the foreseeable future. Now Molly is saying I'm favoring Lucy over her because she's conforming to traditional standards of femininity, getting married and being thin. That's absolute baloney, but it got me thinking that if the roles were reversed and Lucy was the one asking for the dress after initially turning it down, would I give it to her? Is Molly right that I'm favoring Lucy? Am I the a-hole in this situation?
My 30F father, 60s, shops like a doomsday prepper. Whenever he gets groceries, he buys enough to feed a family of 5. He's also the type to buy food he doesn't plan on eating anytime soon, just in case he craves it. This has always been a problem. When I was younger, my sister and I spent more time at our mom's place, and weren't there often enough to eat much. Nowadays, he lives alone, so even less of what he buys is eaten. The result has always been the same. A lot of the food he buys ends up either spoiled or sitting in a freezer until the end of time. We've never eaten anything that's rotten or moldy, but my dad has always refused to listen when I tell him this is bad for his health. My family went to his place for dinner about a week ago. I arrived earlier to help my father out, as he planned on making burgers. My husband would come later with our kids, 5M and 2F. I had offered to buy some burgers when we decided on them, but my father had said he had some at his place. I didn't think about what that could mean until I saw him pull a box of burgers and some cheese from the very bottom of the freezer. As both had clearly been there a while, I checked the expiration dates. The cheese expired in February. I know dairy products can last longer frozen, but still. The burgers expired in March 2021. I asked my father if he actually planned on cooking that food. He said yes, as both were frozen and still fine to eat. I told him I didn't care how edible he thought the food was. The meat was older than my daughter. We could think about something else to make, or I could have my husband pick up some burgers on his way to my dad's place, but I didn't want my kids eating that. My father got offended. He started going on about how the food was safe and how a dozen nutritionists, aka some guys his girlfriend found on TikTok, had said so. He said he couldn't believe I didn't trust him. He continued talking about how dramatic I was being for a while. I was very upset at the way he responded. Finally, I said, "My kids aren't eating that, and I don't want you cooking for them again. Either, husband's name, buys the burgers or we're not staying for dinner." My husband ended up buying the burgers. We ate them peacefully and no one fought in front of the kids. The next day, my father told me he was upset by what I'd said. He said he felt offended that I'd accuse him of putting his grandchildren in danger like that. I told him that wasn't my intention. I just didn't want to feed my kids 3-year-old meat, and he refused to listen to me. My dad's still insisting I'm being dramatic. My husband is completely on my side, but thinks forbidding my father from cooking for our children might have been a little too much. Am I the a-hole?